Hey, folks, thanks for joining. We have another podcast styled episode today, since many of you seem to like that format last time. And this time, we're going to be joined by a whale who's spending over $5,000 this KVK Prep. And we'll be discussing a lot about pack purchasing, best value for money, and how whales think about this event in general. Also, taking your feedback. This time, it will be one episode, not five. It'll be a bit more structured and will be a little bit more focused on some direct advice, particularly where we talk about the packs. So this time I've got DrBLOOM 12 joining us from K752. So, but yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bloom. I'm coming from server 752, part of the lore family. Shout out to our kingdom and every player in our kingdom.
DrBLOOM, is that how we should talk about you here?
Yeah, it's Dr. Bloom. 12 is just because of some account that I forgot the password from before on Discord.
That's funny. So what's the name with DrBLOOM? Is that a Rick and Morty reference? Is because they did as a Jurassic Park thing.
Almost similar. It's a funny thing. I used to be a DJ before I was actually a doctor. So the name came from, I don't know if you know that old cartoon. I think it's an English cartoon, Banana Man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there, the villain name is Dr. Gloom. So instead of Dr. Gloom, I made it Dr. Bloom. So yeah, that's that.
And also, too, another little known fact, but you were going to be one of my streamers on the KVK live stream I was doing. And then we
Yeah,
had some real life stuff that had came up that prevented it
yeah,
that day, which is kind of funny because that's also how we set out to do this. When we
yeah,
had again some real life stuff come up on the first day or two, which
yeah,
is why we're
yeah.
doing a little bit of this out of order, and playing catch up on how the event has gone. But hey, we kept pushing through, and we're finally here.
It's happening, so it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, it seems like you're off to a good start because we're actually coming in on day 3. We'll be talking about day 1 and 2, and you will get to see exactly how he did on the first day. Maybe we should
Yeah.
dive into that. But you got 50 million points on it.
Yeah. So this is day one.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was it. Yeah.
You had a
And
couple others up
also
there
I
with
did
you.
some, and yeah. We have a lot of good players that are with me here, and they all score really great. Yeah.
Just for those folks who are watching this on the other side of it being published, because we couldn't connect on the first couple days due to some in real life circumstances,
Yeah.
we were fortunate enough that DrBLOOM was able to do some recording. So I'll be interspersing that in with what you see here. If
Yeah.
you see additional footage come in all of a sudden, that's basically where it is.
Yeah. I was actually stopped by, I mean, it's game mechanics. I understand. I usually go all the way. I usually try to max out for the first event everything that I can. It's in order to help the alliance for sure. But so I wanted to max to TG8. I'm stuck at TG, 7. And for infirmary, I'm one away. I cannot share now. I will share tomorrow, whatever, because I don't want to use speed ups now for boosting troops because tomorrow is boost day. But so basically, I used everything to get to from TG5 to TG8. Yeah. So I got to TG8, of course, but with the limited amount in the True Gold refinery, you could not do it. I had packs that I could have bought to gain more, but still, it sucks.
Is this
Yeah.
your first KVK with TG8?
Yeah, I was TG5. This is first one. We are doing really good. We went above and beyond to get to, because as me, I'm one of the leads in garrison or attack. So what was important for me was to get the CC upgraded. It's TG7. Okay, I cannot do it TG8 because, of course, I have to first do the embassy. As I said, I spent 200 refines to
Yeah.
get TTG, and I only got like 562 or something. So, but it was good for 18K TG. Not, but it was good because I could do it, you know.
So you just maxed it out, right? Go back to that screen again.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
basically
I
did
just
all
went.
100 conversions.
I did all 100 right away for all,
Nice.
and on average, I got 280. Let's say TTG, which is okay. Max is like 295, so I was okay with it. Also, what I did day one was also charms, and I'm doing charms day one and last day. So I went because let's say my charms were level 7 for cavalry. I went up to 9, and I went, one for archers on level 10. So Friday I will do again charms as well. It's just how I do things. It's to max points whenever I can.
Yeah, perfect. And what do you think about in terms of the best value for money when you're looking at packs for the resources for these? Could you walk us through them one by one?
Yeah. So what I basically do is, first of all, every week I need to max this. This is the weekly deal is a must. Is a must if you want to get everything for heroes. On the other side, you have the monthly packs, which is for True Gold. I'm always buying, and I'm always want to be ahead of things. So the weekly packs you see for True Gold, I have 60 days more left. So I always buy those packs on bulk. So I have them. And anytime let's say you go and purchase another one, you get more packs. I mean, more True Gold, when you buy it. And actually daily. So these are must for me. Monthly pass, like everything else, I always do every week. Um, what for me is best is, I mean, we don't have them now, are the custom packs. Let's say I will get them for this event now for my pets, but all the custom packs always because they have the best value for what you spend. So it doesn't matter if it's for charms, if it's for true gold, if it's for I don't know, like hero gear. That's what you should be doing, because at certain point, if you don't do that, and if you're planning to be a garrison holder or someone that is really truly wants to help out, you cannot do it without you know
So going back to those custom packs too, one of the things that not everyone necessarily realizes is that you can choose the same item multiple times. You don't have to
yeah,
choose one
yeah,
of
yeah,
each.
that's it. Yeah. So depends what I need. I will use, I don't know, just every time uh what what is needed, Let's say I know right now I will need these coffers. So to get what I need for my pets. So, you buy it. And I mean, of course, everyone has their own limits set and they do what they want to do. But, when you do that, it's good because you know what you're spending on. So I don't know, for charms as well, when you choose, I personally choose because people don't I don't know if anyone knows or not, but after level 10, it's not the charm design, but you need more guides. So you need to adjust until level 10. You need to buy more charms. After level 10, you need to buy more of the guides to be able to, balance between, what you want to get instead of, transforming one to another and losing things. Yeah.
Yep. Now, one thing to notice, so you're at that point at around levels 10, 11, and so where the charm guides are temporarily, at parity or even more than the charm designs for upgrade.
Higher.
But Once you start getting again into 12, 13, 14, 15, it swings way back again to the charm designs
Yeah,
being
that's
the
what I'm saying.
bottleneck.
You need to adjust. You need to adjust what you want to do, what you're getting. So
Yes.
the custom packs for this are really good because you can, uh, you know, do it with adjusting what you buy.
Yes, exactly. And that's a great benefit for that. And for those of you who are planning for yourself, I'll put a link in the description of the video to our Kingshot Optimizer website. We actually have the full reference data for the cost for every single level, as well as the actual optimization tool itself that you can use to plan out your own account and maximize the stat gain you get. So check out the link in the description for that if you haven't already seen that module. But when going back to the packs here, uh, it's a really helpful point to be able to choose that as well, because if you try to convert too many, you start to lose some of the value because it's a 50% exchange once you've done more than 10.
Yeah.
But in this case, too, as we think about purchasing, are there any particular packs that you stay away from, whether it's True Gold or any of the charm guides,
Oh,
designs, that sort of stuff? What packs do you always look at and go, that's not enough value?
really stay away right now from just packs for Governor gear. I used to do a lot of packs for Gov gear. I've been actually sitting on this Governor gear for like 2 months now. Because why? And I will do one or two every event, but what you get, let's say for uh, stats wise, 2.5% is for me not worth it because I can do, several charms that give you way more. It's 5%, okay? And for now, say Governor Gear, I'm staying away from it anytime it pops up.
Yeah. And look, one of the other things to consider here is for that every single account, the more that you invest in one domain, whether it's governor gear, governor charms, even pets to some extent, you start hitting more and more diminishing returns where it takes an
Yeah,
increasing amount of resources and you get less per level back for the upgrade. So, even if you're looking at something like advanced taming marks and you're saying, my gosh, these are
yeah,
wildly expensive and I might use one and not even get a right roll of the dice that does anything with it. At a certain point, you start doing the math where you're saying, well, it's going to take me, hundreds or even thousands of these
yeah,
charm materials for a single charm upgrade. Meanwhile, I could maybe get the same amount of stats with a couple lucky rolls from one or two advanced taming marks. Suddenly they become a
yeah.
bit more attractive again.
Yeah, of course. And I like, especially, I mean, you did a video on the taming marks and upgrading, and it's really, really been useful to not just me, but everyone else.
Well, thanks. I'm glad it's helpful. I can put that too, since we'll be looking at pets today. I'll put that link in
Yeah.
the description along with the pet tier list one that I have.
All right. So today I will be doing pets, as I said, and for me, the most important thing is to upgrade the great moves to be, level 10. Why? Is because of the impact and because I'm one of the rally leaders, so I need the capacity, and this is why I have to do this. Um, you know, every time you have a certain role in everyone, I guess, in every alliance. So uh, this is if you're leader, rally leader, you should definitely be having this maxed for just for your alliance sake.
Yep. Yeah, we could talk about the specifics of why you might do one pet versus another. Uh, but
Yeah.
I like I said,
Good.
I've got a tier list, and it's a bit different for spenders as it is for free to play. If you're a
Yeah.
spender, those combat stats matter much more than if you're say free to play or a low spender. Although since I made that video, they did come out with Mystic Trial, which started to provide some immediate return for the stronger your pets are. So that's maybe
Yeah.
the only caveat there. But otherwise, I mean, you do need some substantial items and
Yeah.
resources to invest them all the way up to level 100 for these, or
Well,
advancement level 10. for the high ones?
Yeah, this is what I'm doing for rally. You need to have, of course, mighty bison for sure. Bear, you either have it maxed or have it in a certain way. Why? Because of the also the march speed up, also lethality, but march speed up. So you know your times, where you're positioned around the castle when you're, you have KVK, whatever, and what to attack. So I will be focusing today, as I said. I max right now great moves, but this as well. The Panther, its lethality is really important. So I want to do that as well.
So have you, for the grizzly bear for the march speed piece, have you actually tested that on Castle Battle yourself? That actually changes the
Yeah,
march speed
yeah.
to it?
We tested between certain people so that we need to know each time who has which level, so that you can adjust so the marches come in at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the difference between the general march speed bonus versus the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
solo march
The
slash,
solo march.
yeah.
Yes. So this is for the rally. It counts for everything. It's not on your march whether it will come back faster or not. So because I need food more, then I will need to get more food packs, of course, to get my uh, panther up. So this is what I do. I basically don't get everything beforehand, because you never know what runs out first or what can happen. Of course, I usually stock up on a lot of stuff that are important. Let's say I don't know, like mithril, hammers, this and that. To have just for gear. Let's say I need to have gold pieces to be available for me. Like all of these will be free, and I'll be using them for to get my heroes up on Friday. But for pets and stuff like that, I go by how much I gain during the whole month, and then I go one by one what I'm missing.
Yep. That's probably the safest way to do it until we
Yeah,
until we build an optimizer for pets. But that's a little
yeah,
bit further out on the roadmap.
yeah. You see, now I need more food, but also I will need to get some more coffers. So then I will do this and this, and then if I need, I will adjust afterwards. It's
Now, while we're doing this, are there particular events that you get excited about when they come around because of the packs that come with them? And if so, which ones?
um I would really appreciate if they have more specialized packs and you can buy at any time, especially in KVK Prep, because for now this is our main event that we're focusing on. You want your kingdom to be the best. So you cannot have it be the best unless you have the best players, the best packs, the best things. So I would really want to have a choice to buy more packs when I need them on demand, not to be only on certain days and only, I don't know, let's say a certain custom pack comes out every 2 weeks.
Well, so it's an interesting perspective that you're bringing too, because it's a bit of a different game when you're spending at this amount, because those those spending limits, they really start to come into play, right? I could imagine for the majority of
Yeah,
players, they look at that custom pet screen and they see purchase limit one for $100, purchase limit one for $50, and they're like,
yeah,
when am I ever going to just buy out an entire category all in one sitting?
yeah.
Right. But what you're saying is you get to a point where you're the spend, again, you were saying like $5,000 plus for this KVK, that those limits really actually start to come back into play, and it almost introduces a different level of strategy around the
Yeah, it does.
timing
Because
of the purchase.
let's see. Now I'm missing, let's say, 9 for this advancement. I have to get it. I have to get it to get my pet one more. It counts a lot more for me and for my lions to get that. But now I'll have to, like, even these packs, like the regular ones, I stay away from them
Yeah, the
every
value is
time
terrible.
I can. The values are, but still. So I need to get it so that I can, and I'm happy that I can only. I mean, I need to only buy the 4.99, whatever, to have, and I have something spared from before to be able to, advance my pet, which is, of course, level 7 doesn't seem much, 1% for a lot of people, but it matters in perspective when you have a rally size, a lot of people, and you're leading. That 1% matters a lot.
Yeah, I mean that 1% is multiplicative because it's a special bonus.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you're a big spender on this and you're a whale, probably as you get into that TG8 time frame of
yeah,
your kingdom, you could be having battle reports with 2000 stats. Well, 1% of 2000 is 20%. And
yeah,
that is a pretty big of a return for an incremental $5, even though obviously there's
yeah.
other things leading up to it that you did. But like that's the calculus, right? Do you take this $5 pack that is suboptimal, but if you get it now and you upgrade it, you'll have essentially an
It
extra plus
matters. Yes,
20% in the battle in a
yes,
couple days.
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's what I'm saying. It is cost benefit wise, it's worthless. But when you have to do it, you have to do it. And this is what I'm referring. I'm going back to. You see, I don't spend before any taming marks or whatever. I don't buy them. I just get them from I don't know, from daily tasks and this and that. And then afterwards, I buy with gems when I need it.
Yep, absolutely. And again, I've got a video
Yeah,
on this. I'll link below in the description. But the color of these bars, the lower the rarity is, the higher return you get per taming mark in terms of the
yeah,
distribution of the random outcome. So if you're trying to maximize your return per taming mark as you spend them for KVK, you obviously are going to want to target some of these gray bars, particularly if some of the newer pets, if you've
yes,
already
of
done
course.
all the gray bars of the older ones.
And this is why I'm leaving stuff out, not doing it beforehand, so I can do it for KVK. And in that the perspective, you are basically also hiding your stats in a certain way. Same thing is what I do with I don't know, mythical trial. Uh, I don't do certain things. I do it every, I don't know, 2 months. I want to get, higher levels. Why? Because people underestimate you when they see, oh, you're not, I don't know, top 3 in mythical trial or whatever. You don't have this level or whatever.
That's a really interesting take on this because by sacrificing Mystic Trial position, you're also
Mhm.
sacrificing your recurring rewards every week. Although I suppose if you're, again,
Yeah,
thinking of it from the context of a
but of
spender,
course, I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not a lot of difference in return, but it's more of having the other kingdom be questioning. Oh, it was supposed to be this person. How? Why? You know?
so you mentioned something else here about you'll use gems for the additional taming marks. As you think about spending gems in your account, as again, as a spender, you have access to a lot of them. How do you rank this
Yeah.
sort of in the pecking order from where you spend your gems when you have that many?
Um, my first thing is I need to have every KVK around 1 million gems. Why? Because if you're, especially if you're a rally leader, because you need to boost March in to go inside and take over. If we're doing depending on the strategy, but for me, top priority spending gems is KVK. Then next one is buying the boosts for the 20% marks. And then afterwards of the event, the Swordland, yeah, the one that you have to boost other players when we need to do fast rally. So
Yes.
do 1 minute, and as a leader, I use them to boost other people that are far out and that cannot spend, so I'm boosting their marches to come in. And after that is taming marks. But you can get a lot of taming marks for really not that much, I mean, gems. For now, its cost benefit is really good because if you see, the stats, they pile up,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
going back to that point about diminishing returns, I mean, look, you've just spent 100 and some odd blue taming marks here, but look at the combined amount of stats that you got out of it, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking like 50 additional stats across, yeah, 22 plus
yeah.
23, yeah. So you're talking almost 50 additional stats. I'm just thinking if you compare that to how much hero gear or how much governor gear or governor charms it
You
would
need to
take,
use, yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
would be
yeah.
so much more
For those
expensive.
stats.
And that's
That's
why,
why I'm saying, like,
because these pets are newly introduced over time, it means
yeah.
that you actually have a bit less of diminishing returns in pets as an investment domain than you do in some of these other areas.
Now I bought 200 of them for, you know, of course I used a lot of gems as well, but still, it's for me, this is good because I will get a lot more stats on this pet, especially until it's gets to blue. I always do it up to blue, and then I use the gold ones. Like you said,
Yep.
it's basically demand and return. It's best investment. So
Yeah. And, pets is one of those harder days to score if you're a spender because each taming mark isn't really that much. So it actually, in terms of return on points per investment, it's a bit lower. But in terms of return on stats for your
yeah,
account, that's where it
of
really stands
stats, yeah.
out.
Yeah, and this is why I do it. It's not always about just points because we can all score. If it was up to that, I will just only do troops and score like with just getting packs for troops, hundreds of millions of points during KVK, and what I do with that, nothing. My account will be weak as hell, and I will be helping no one. You know,
Yep.
I'll be helping in KVK Prep, but when KVK comes around, there's nothing I can do. I can just
Yeah,
sit
it's two
around and just
phases.
join
It's
in.
it's two
Yeah,
phases. You got prep and battle. So when you think
yeah,
about pets
yeah, yeah,
investment, it's really more about preparing for battle than it is about winning prep, although it still helps a little bit with that. Just
yeah,
comparatively
yeah,
not as much.
yeah. Of course.
And at this point, I'd like to take a quick moment and give a special thanks to my Slot Squad channel members whose continued support helps make my work possible. Check out the links below for how to sign up as well as how you can use your in-game spend to support my channel. We were discussing how it takes a certain aspect of timing to get the ideal packs. And this is something that's unique if you're playing as a whale, where you can't just necessarily buy anything. You have to actually think about when you're going to buy it because sometimes packs
Yes.
aren't available. Sometimes it's better value for a limited time only versus others. So there's sort of a different angle of strategy that we don't get. But how do you think about it? And what are the packs that you sort of go out of your way to when you see either particular events or things come around where you're like, that's the one. That's where the money goes because it's the best return on investment.
What I also like is, especially for True Gold, when it was Mystical Divine, that event. It's really good if you play it right. If I don't know how people are playing it, but for those, you can choose which one is the best. Do you need True Gold? Do you need, I don't know, boosts? Do you need, other stuff, that charms and stuff like that for charms? Yeah.
Yeah, I think also too sometimes if you're even if you're a free to play player, if you do it once in a while and you have enough tickets saved up and you
Mhm.
realize how to manage the probabilities in that, you can get quite a
Yeah.
few like tens, hundreds of thousands of gems if you need to, which can allow
Hmm.
you to keep up
Yeah.
pace with the roulette wheel or something. And then
This
if you're
is like
spending,
it.
even better because then you
Yeah.
have more tickets to play around with.
Yeah, it gave me, let's say, this last event, I did buy all the packs both days. So in each day, I got around 2.2, 2.5 million True Gold because I needed True Gold to get to TG8. So this is what I was aiming for. And I mean, yeah, it's 300 and what, $90 investment or whatever, 400. But when you see the packs for just true gold, you will not get the same ones. You have the best packs that pop up is like the one that has 1K true gold and plus some coffers. And so you need to buy a lot more to get what you get from that if you play it right.
Yeah. And when you said mill true gold, you meant thousand
No, no, no.
in
I
the
meant thousands. Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
metric sense,
Yes, right.
not
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
millions of
yeah, yeah.
true
No,
gold.
no, no. I'm used to everything to be in upper, but yeah, yeah. I meant case. It's okay.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
really good return on investment
yeah.
at
That
that
will be
point.
a big investment. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Like let's say for today. I mean, I had a lot of boosts saved up. I mean, for training, speed ups. But uh, I could only buy packs because they were out for, one pack for, let's say, for training. So again, I'm around 160 days that I can train today. But it sucks that, it's training day, KVK Prep. And I think developers should make it possible for those events when it's particular day to have those particular packs available to buy. You know,
Yeah, I
I understand that, but from another point that yes, but then you're making it so that people that can spend more will always be able to catch up, and you're, taking away from the game. But still, everyone has the same right to buy or not. You know.
yeah, let's hope none of the developers are listening to this conversation. Otherwise, we'll see some more monetization of truth training.
Yeah, yeah.
So with that in mind, so we're actually on day 4 as we're having this part of the conversation. You
Hmm.
have your minister appointment coming up in a few minutes.
In
So
8 minutes.
exactly. So we'll get to look at that and see you use a bunch of speed ups. But even before we do that, right? One of the things that I've always observed with KVK prep is troop training day is sort of like the highest leverage point I think for Kingdom, where even the free to play players, if they've been saving a lot and they've been training tier 9 to promote to tier 10 or something, they can actually have a pretty big impact on this. So
Yeah.
how do you think about that from a competitiveness standpoint as a whale? Like what do you do to try to preserve leads on your side
Yeah,
when
you can
it's one of
never,
the most
you can.
risky times? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But as a rule, we always try to everyone to be making, because it's cost benefit wise, it's a lot better and it's a lot more points, and everyone can do it. Like during the whole month before prep, you make everyday troops, So I'm making T10s, and then first I will promote them, you know. So around 100K T10, but then afterwards I train the rest, with speed ups and T11. It's fair for me. It's fair because it gives also people that are not prepared to spend and they're free to play to have fun and to be able to gain some points and to help out alliances and kingdoms. Of course, points wise, like for certain things and for certain upgrades, it's a lot less points, but you use a lot of money to get those because they're really hard to get. This is especially talking about hero gear and the pieces to be able to max them. For me, it's not a big deal. It's okay. I'm happy that other people can help out and they can save. And if you're in a pretty active alliance, I bet that you will get from events and everything at least 60, 70 days of boosts per month. Yeah.
On day 4, which we are right now, while you're doing troop training, you can actually do the upgrades for forge hammers and mithril and all of that. But you're saving it
Hmm.
for day 5. Can you share a bit more on why you're doing that and what the strategy is associated with it?
For me, it's basically just to keep an eye on the opponent and to see what they're doing. And of course, I did a lot of charms. I will do a few more charms because I got some more. of course. Uh, and um, hero gear, it's only for me. It's best to do on the last day, so then I know again what everyone else is up to and if I need to push more or not.
Yep. So you're sort
Uh,
of saving that in the tank so you can score more points if you need to, maintain position on
yeah,
the leaderboard. If you need to add a little bit more before the actual KVK combat, which again is another big piece of this, you're
yeah,
just sort of monitoring that and trying to hide your own strength a
yeah.
little.
I'm not too big of an. I mean, I'm. Everyone wants to finish on top of the board, but we have so many good players here and people that are able to do things. And like I said, sometimes you can spend the less money and gain more points. Depends what you're doing and what you're left in doing. And sometimes you need to spend a lot of money for a few points. It's just how the game is done, and
Yeah. And we talked about
that's
that
the way it is.
yesterday on pets. Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
my position is almost coming up.
Here we go. That should be good.
Yeah. I'll do the training capacity, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
training goes fast, of course.
are you
It'll,
doing that just for convenience, adding the training capacity, or are you doing that because you believe there's a perceived benefit for it?
no, just out of convenience to be able to be
Ah,
sure
okay.
to finish. I mean, even though it's easy, it's not that much. It's easy to finish in 30 minutes. But let's say
We'll make it quicker for
if
the
you're,
group here while we're recording, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah,
Thank you
for
for
sure,
your
yeah,
sacrifice.
yeah,
And
yeah,
why I'm joking about this, just so folks know, it increases your capacity for training, but it doesn't increase the speed at which you train. So like it'll double the capacity and double the time. So it's the same throughput of
yeah,
troops per, minute of speed up. So where you actually can use that, and I have a video I'll also link below in the description on KVK Prep, Hall of Governors, Alliance Brawl, all of that sort of stuff. Basically what you can do is use that a day or so in advance so you can queue up a larger batch of training that might take you like a day and a half to complete. But if you start that on the middle of day 2, then it's ready when you come to day 4. So it's a way for you to get some additional training done outside of the bounds of day 4 to count on day 4. But
yeah,
you won't be using the speed ups to do it. So it's sometimes helpful if you got some gems and you're short on speed ups and you want to get a little bit more points on something if it's a close match. But for the most part, it's really, I feel like it's priced high for gems given what it actually does. It's sort of misleading. All right, well, hey, you just got your position.
yeah,
Let's go into some troop training.
yeah. So first, I'm always doing the promotion to promote everything. Okay, of course, it's always quick speed up and to just make sure that I'm done with the promoting. And then, of course, like now this, I always tend to train more infantry because I need it for 60/40 for defense garrisons. So I will always do that, and I do a certain ratio in a way to be everything close. So I will do like right now it's okay, but I will do 100K of each, and then see whatever is left.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I tend to do the same thing. I skew a little bit heavier to infantry and archers, but again, I'm on the sort of the
Yeah.
lower end of the spectrum on spend. So I'm looking to get return on investment, not necessarily from combat or doing 60/40
Hmm.
garrison defense, but rather being able to launch as many bear formations with the ideal ratio as I can
Yeah.
and being
Yeah.
able to
Yeah. Yeah.
score
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Vikings.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. And this is why I mean, I have enough for 7 marches in the way we play, but it's always good to have more archers, especially for the bear. Oh, you see, uh, this is when you,
This is what happens when you try to multitask.
yeah,
Doing a recording and
yeah,
having a conversation while
yeah.
upgrading.
But it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not a big loss. It's the
Yeah.
same thing, basically.
Yeah, it comes out exactly to the
Just,
same if you do it during the actual
yeah,
day of event.
yeah.
And if anyone is
Because you get
unsure about that, also have another video. I'll link that one below in the description. But that one I actually go through and show the math about about upgrading versus promoting troops. And in this case, the reference to it is basically that, if you were training those level 10 troops as he just did and promoted them to 11, it's actually the same amount of total time and total resources as just training the 11 straight. The only reason we do this technique that DrBLOOM was showing here is because it doesn't go linearly in that last step of going from 10 to 11, or in the case of the video I did from 9 to 10, since T11 troops weren't a
yeah
thing then. That is where you actually get the most points for KVK Prep for the least amount of time and resource input.
yeah okay. Well, so as I said, the last thing I do is, when I use my speed ups is I just do one more batch and they're, cooking and it's all good. I mean,
That's a pretty good
and
result.
what I will do now,
24 million points.
yeah, yeah, for 160 days speed up, yeah. And now I will do some more charms. I'm missing one more, but I will get them tomorrow, so that I can. So it's not a lot of things that can be done today. So 26 million, that's good. Um,
Where are you
Also,
on the
what I
overall
wanted to say,
standings so
yeah.
far?
I think I'm in the top five, something. Let me see. Yeah, five. We're here pretty much just Florida
Yeah, you're
girl.
pretty close.
She is way up now. This is awesome. Yeah, but we'll see tomorrow, and I'll see what else I will need to. Maybe I'll do later. Get some more packs, and that's the problem. If there's nothing else that can come up right now, so I'm stuck. Oh, I forgot. I need to do one more thing today because it also today counts as well for widgets. I'm gonna be maxing my TUD. Just a second. So.
Yeah, this is where it's really important to get the math right. You're also getting attacked
But
by Vikings at the same time.
I
We
know,
timed it
yeah.
well.
But I will get this tomorrow, and then I will do it. So
Let's see how much
uh,
more points did you get from that?
2 million or around something like that.
So that should put you in
So
fourth now.
overall, yeah. So oh yeah, they're calling for me.
If you're a viewer, you can't see this on the screen, but the chat is cut off. But DrBLOOM's Alliance is
Yeah,
asking why he's not participating in Vikings right now. Blame it on me, dude.
yeah.
Tell him it's
No,
my
I
fault.
know, I know. It's okay. Yeah, yeah. We needed to go over Masters Academy, right? We
Yeah,
kind
let's
of
let's
kind
talk
of
about this. Let's
about
and
that. Yeah.
we'll talk about day 2 that we had missed, which
Mhm.
is also where you had actually scored almost all of your points by upgrading masters.
Yeah, only for masters and some charms. Yeah, but I basically went and did Cassia. I was not doing anything for her. I only had level one, and on the first skill, I had like level one or two or whatever, something like that. So, and I went all in, and you see now I left this. I will finish it tomorrow. So everything is at five. For me, this is the most important skill that I need to get as soon as I can, to max it. Yeah, it costs a lot. Yeah, it's hard to upgrade it, Cassia, after like level 80 and stuff. You need a lot of gifts.
So I'm also realizing too, your and I haven't noticed this till now. The layout of your building is different than mine.
Really?
Yeah, so Pan and Roman are switched on mine. So like Pan is
Uh-huh.
in the middle And Roman's over off on the right with his
Uh-huh.
boxing ring.
Maybe it's when you encountered one or the other and when they're where they're placed.
Did you
Maybe,
build
I don't know.
Roman before Pan somehow?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay. Because I built Pan first. He was the
uh-huh.
second master. So
Yeah,
I guess that's really interesting that it just switches like that. I hadn't
yeah,
seen
I
that
didn't know
before.
that either.
I just assumed they were in the
I would.
preset order you discovered them in because I
Yes,
didn't I
yes.
didn't do
They
all the
just.
lost journeys. That's cool. And just the whole reason we're even talking about Masters Academy to begin with is because, again, one of the unique challenges that you have as a whale is like on your day two, you've already maxed out your tech in terms of War Academy. You have some
Yeah,
tech you could max out in the regular academy if you wanted to,
yeah,
still some battle tech there. So there's only a couple of really big battle research things there that you're working your way through. But if it
yeah,
comes down to just from a strictly return on investment standpoint for those speed ups, you're going to probably get more from them by building troops and getting a
yeah.
higher rank on the leaderboard than you will from the actual resulting research project that you would use it on.
Yes, true. So, I mean, I can use it for points sometimes, but the thing is, like, we are focused on KVK Prep. As you know, we're undefeated. If you see, it's pretty much a done deal. But I mean, you never know. But still, it's 1 billion points. It's not easy to go back and regain those points. So
I'm looking as you
yeah,
say this at your kingdom ranking on our Kingshot
yeah,
optimizer website. And yeah, we've got you
yeah,
as 8-0 for prep, 6-2 for battle.
yeah. 6-2 for battle. It was two. One of them we were supposed stream that one, but
Yeah.
technical issues and stuff like that. But yeah, we were pretty unlucky.
And if it makes you
It's
feel
just the
any
fair
better,
game.
your ranking didn't go down too much from that. We
Yeah.
663 is currently ranked 15th, I think. And
Hmm.
you guys are now currently ranked 11th based on I mean, again, this is some of the
Yeah.
different matches since then.
Well, there will be certain surprises soon, so
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't want to
Keep
spoil
building.
in the next
Keep
transfer windows.
All right. Well, that should be exciting. But yeah, anyway, if you're curious to see how your kingdom ranks, and we have a pretty robust methodology about it that has a time decay aspect and takes into account the strength of your opponent. It's it's quite complex in the way that
Yeah.
ZBrave is a PhD data scientist would devise with Cosmos is also a statistician. So you can only
As I
imagine the
said, as I said, as
yeah.
I said in the whale chat and Kingshot and Discord, really, really, really happy to have you guys. And with doing this, it helps out so much to so many people. I mean, like me that play the game and we use your tools and I would like to say again, I wish that people acknowledge that and support you not just by using it, but by supporting you in a way financially. And I hope
Well,
that
thank you.
whoever
I
is listening that they can that they should probably you know at least for one coffee every week.
well, thanks. I appreciate that. I won't argue with that, but I will say now this makes me hope that someone from the developers is listening
Yeah,
to take back what I said
yeah,
earlier about new pack ideas.
yeah.
Fantastic.
So tomorrow we will do heroes. So I will be maxing my Longfei, and I will be working on actually Archer to get this up so that it scores a lot more. Also, it helps during I wanted to at least 17, 18, but depends a lot of mitral that I can actually use to. So I have 215. So I can get all of those that are 39, 59 to like 79 and whatever. But again, I need the mythical, the golden shards. So
Yeah, those are quite hard to come by. They,
yeah,
I think there's a pity timer on the chests. So if you go 100 chests that you open, that you will get an automatic piece of mithril gear. Some folks have tested. I mean, it's really hard on a low sample size, but no one's ever gone more than 100 when they've been counting that I'm aware of. So we believe that there's some sort of
yeah.
pity timer on those. But even still, like
Same as
100's
same
a
as
lot to go to get
for
one
the
when you need a
yeah
dozen of them. You know?
yeah. And black hole as well is, oh my god, so many spins. It's
How are you doing on
ridiculous.
that? Where's your?
Oh, I was having some argument with concierge service about that as well. Why? Because I mean, I've been VIP 12 since October last year, and I've probably, I mean, invested a lot of money into it. And counting what they say the chances are of getting it, I should have gotten it 2 times by now.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
actually asked the developers to show me how many exactly VIP points I've used on it, on the spin, and how much did I get. So they say they cannot provide me with the data, but it's correct. Yeah,
How helpful.
yeah, yeah, it is correct. Trust us, but we cannot provide you data. We don't have it.
I suspect it's correct, but I suspect it's also just a really unlucky set of rolls that you had
Yeah,
on it. Like you're outside the
yeah,
two standard deviations on the bell curve, probably.
yeah. Which sucks, but okay,
In
it
which
is what
case
it
you
is.
would in which case you would think the developer would just be like, all right, fine, we'll, you know, there's got to be like a
We'll
point
give
where
you
you've
the
got
fitting.
enough.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
All right, now we're moving on to day 5, which for you is instantaneous. For us, we actually had to wait a little bit and do it after day 5 happened. But here we are. We're going to talk about the upgrades that DrBLOOM had made, and we'll talk about final result from the KVK prep and lessons learned and any sort of parting thoughts from there. So, DrBLOOM, why don't you take it away for this part?
Okay, so talking about the heroes and what I did, like I said, I was basing more to, especially to max my long fei, my infantry hero, his equipment. This is where most of my mithril and most of the forge hammers and mythical gear went. Basically, for this event, I used around, let's say, around 200 mithril, I would say, and I used around, I think it was more than 100 something mythical gear pieces, plus around, I would say, 2K forge hammers.
That is
As I
crazy.
said,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I have yet to accumulate 100 mithril total in my entire main account, let alone
yeah,
to use in one KVK.
yeah. Mitchell is really the hardest thing. I mean, I still have a little bit more left to do for next time, and probably get some more as well. But yeah, Mitchell is the worst. This is not the highest amount I've used during KVK prep. The highest was actually around 400 and something. It was I think 2 KVKs ago or something like
Can
that.
you can you share a little bit about how you think about acquiring mithril, particularly given that I know this is one of the ones where the packs are quite limited and they're not always as great
Yeah.
of value. It's like very rare to find a discount on it. So be curious to hear your thinking about how you just go about acquiring mithril and what you prioritize.
Yeah, there is no actually good pack for Mithril, as you said. It's only the regular packs that you have where you get basically nothing. It's these packs, right? So until you get to $100, it's like one, two, three, four, five, whatever. So it's 20 Mithril, I think, at $100, right?
Yep.
So when you get to $100, you have 20 packs that you can buy at 100. This is how I acquired them.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
So
seeing the
basically,
remaining one there. Because it says remaining one. So
remaining is one. Like the lowest value is one. So until you get to 100, it stays at the one that you buy at. So it stays for 6 days. Let's say for 7 days. It's weekly pack in a way. But once you get to $100, you can only buy $100 packs, and it's limited to 20 that you can buy in total in 7 days. So basically, so 400 mithril you can get from the $100 packs a week plus what is it like 15 more or whatever before until you get to 99.99 to $100. Yeah.
you actually haven't got to it yet in terms of your kingdom
No.
progression. But I talk about this in my Flame Dragon Tyrant guide. But that's actually one of the areas
Uh-huh.
where if you do the conversion through the shop currency for Flame Dragon Tyrant, you can get some
Mm-hmm.
mithril. It comes out essentially a little bit more than $5 for two. So it's actually a
Yeah.
quite good deal if that's your next best alternative. But again, it's very rare that you find packs for mithril that are cheaper than $5 per mithril. And you also usually only find them when it's tied to a specific event and if you're doing some sort of arbitrage through the shop currency of that event.
Again, so I always buy it through the arena store. Also here is as well the mythical gear pieces as well. So usually I will see by the end of the week how much I will accumulate either to buy all three as well. Yeah, it's same thing with always buying out in trial shop.
Yeah. And even if you're a free to play player or a low spender watching this and you're not slashing around a bunch of cash like a whale, the mithril where you have opportunity to get it for in-game currency or for free, start doing that now because eventually, or at least for your main set of equipment, you'll have enough experience where you start to become mastery gated, not experience gated. Probably won't happen for like the first year and a half that you're playing. But by that point, you start to have topped out on experience, and experience keeps coming easier and easier in your account. But the mithril and the ancillary forge hammers
Yeah,
and extra gear and that sort of stuff, but you'll be mastery gated and imbuement gated for your main piece of gear at a certain point, no longer experience gated. So if you plan earlier for that switch ahead of time, given all these limits and the difficulty of getting it, it'll be way cheaper for you down the road if you prioritize mithril while you don't need it yet. All right, but back to the upgrades
so
that you did. So we talked a
yeah.
bit about Long Fei, and you basically maxed out all of your infantry equipment
Hmm.
first. So let's talk about some of the other ones that you did.
So in Rosa, I actually did the chest piece. So I upgraded it from it was 39, so it's now at 60, 59, yeah, for the next one. And I did the helmet as well. Here, mostly I based it on Master Forgery, so that I can have uh, better scores in basically in Bear Trap. And next, I will be doing again that
Your alliance is
for
going to
next
love you
time,
for
and
that one.
hopefully everything. Yeah. Yeah. I did also finish up Cassia, like I mean finish up, did two more upgrades. It was on to level 5 here. Level 4 was cooking and level 5 I did afterwards. So just little things the last day to just sort of do some small improvements, but nothing major except for like I said, charms, gov gear, one piece, and then mostly just hero gear.
Fantastic. So now let's talk about what that translated to in terms of score and outcome for the KVK match.
Okay, so KVK Prep, we won. I think I send you a screenshot of the day by day. Can I go back? I think I send you that.
Yeah,
Do you have
I
it?
can show. I do have
So,
it, but
yeah.
just talk through it, and I'll put
Yeah,
that as footage over
it
this.
was yeah, yeah. So KVK Prep, we won really good. We were at 8 point something, they were at 7 point something billion points. So it was huge. It was good from our kingdom again. Everyone showed up. Everyone did what they were supposed to do, and we're now 9-0 for prep, which is impressive. And especially against the kingdom, 751, which is really, really a good kingdom, and they have a lot of even stronger whales and like max out players and a lot of things. And it was not the easiest one to win. But we knew, as we always have a meeting, and a call the day before battle phase starts to go over some strategy and stuff like that. We knew it will be a really, 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 really hard KVK, which ended up being so. In the beginning, it was really bad the first 30 minutes. But we were expecting this because we were testing out what to use when to see if they have pet boost or not, if who is using from ours, and strategy wise some stuff. But it ended up good that we did that. So we took over and we actually won at the end with big difference, of course. And we just had a better strategy, knew what to use and how to use it, which point, and this is why we were able to win.
So what was your role in the battle? Were you going for one of the towers? Were you one of the multiple
No, no, no.
rally leaders?
I was the team one castle rally leaders. Our Discord call was really fun because it was 50-50 between everyone, to who is going to win or not. Because on paper they were overwhelmingly better than us, let's say, in certain positions.
So what do you think then made the difference in terms of the battle outcome?
Strategy, just strategy. The way how it's played, especially strategy against. I mean, I don't want to say a lot, but it's
That's
against
fine.
against higher ranking opponents that are more they're stronger. It's how you can do certain things that can get you on top, even though you are not as powerful.
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations on the victory, or both victories, I should say, given it was
Thanks.
prep
Yes.
and
Yes.
battle.
Yes.
Any final thoughts that you would want to share, or any lessons learned that you think are good for folks to reflect on who are watching this?
One more thing for KVK, I mean, especially for rally leaders, and especially in events where you have to really use a lot of boosts and boost your marches, be sure you have enough diamonds. I used around 1.2 million jams just for speed ups. Of course, not just on castle, as well on attacking people and
That's
having fun with
wild.
that.
Just to put that in
Yeah,
context, 1.2 million gems is probably enough to max out the star rating of a hero on the hero roulette wheel.
sure.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a whole different
yeah.
level of game at this point.
Yeah. So you need to be prepared in many ways to be able to do, and it, but it's fun. If especially I love our team, I love our alliance, and we are really good. Our kingdom is awesome. We have a kingdom of 4 top clans that work together, strategize together, do everything together, and it's awesome. And I would like to thank them for showing up for KVK, for KVK Prep, for doing everything that we did. I'm so proud of everyone, and you know just love you guys.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you joining, taking the time out, and managing your schedule. I mean, a lot of folks might not realize this, but we did have to manage across 2 different time zones and appointments so
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
could
yeah,
do the recording here. So I appreciate you playing along
yeah,
over multiple days to put some of the footage together
yeah.
here.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Thank
all
you
the
as
viewers
well.
do as
And
well.
it was a pleasure doing this. And thanks again for letting me be part of this and having fun with you. And again, I would like to, say to everyone that is listening, especially, to please follow you and to support you in, in every way possible. And, your channel, YouTube channel, and plus also the optimizer that you guys are doing. And I know it takes a lot of work, and thank you guys for everything.
Thanks a bunch. I don't have to make the plug at the end for my, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. You took care of it for me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome.
All right, with that, let's end it here then. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. See you.